All right, let's talk about fruitarian protein. A lot of people usually ask me, where do I get my protein on a fruit-based diet? And of course, this is also a question that a lot of vegans get, that people say, where do you get your protein? Because you're not eating any animal products, so how can it be that you're not super skinny or deficient in protein? And for fruitarians, it's even more of a question. So I'm here with my friend Jake, and we're basically going to tackle in this situation. And the first thing that I want to explain is that all fruit has some form of protein, and usually it's all in the form of just pure amino acids. And it actually, if you look at an app like Chronometer, which is an app that I have on my phone, and you choose any fruit, you'll find that all fruits has a full spectrum of amino acids. So I actually have here with Jake a list of the most common fruits that we can find in most stores around the US or around the world, and we basically looked at how much protein there is per 100 grams, or what percentage there is of amino acids or protein in each fruit. So Jake, if you can please read the list.
So we got bananas.
Bananas
are 1.2%.
Yep.
Or 1.2 grams per 100 grams of banana.
Mm-hmm.
Cucumber is 0.7.
Mm-hmm.
Kiwi 1.2%.
Yeah.
Mango is 0.8%.
Yeah.
Strawberries 0.7%.
Mm-hmm.
Watermelon 0.6%. Avocados are about 2%.
2%.
Mm-hmm. Lemons 1.1. Papayas 0.5.
Yeah.
So they're all pretty low protein, and I mean that's not the same thing as percent composition would be like, how much mass of it is actually made up of protein, but that's not the same as calories, because per 1 gram of protein there's 6 calories and etc. So it's not the exact same as saying it's 1.2% of your calories coming from protein.
Yeah.
And it might seem pretty low, but if you go by Dr. Robert Morse, which is pretty well known in the fruitarian community, he talks about how low protein diets are actually better for us than high protein diets. So the idea is actually to get as least amount of protein as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is, he talks about how proteins are on the acidic side of diet because they're mainly made up of nitrogen. So they have an acid pH, whereas carbon is what sugar is made of, and it's more on the alkaline side.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of high protein diets are often correlated with things like kidney failure, kidney diseases like that. And also, we're talking about 100 grams, but let's say a mango can be 200, maybe 300 grams. So let's say you get 3 grams here and 4 grams over there. And I actually was using the app, the Chronometer app, to track my macros. And I was trying to hit between 60 and 80 grams of protein per day, because I was following the sort of bodybuilding rules that you need to get about 0.8 grams per pound. So I did the whole math, and it was supposed to be between 60 and 80. And I was usually hitting about 45 or so, 50. I was eating a good amount of fruit per like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 calories. Obviously, the more calories you eat, the more protein you'll get from the fruit. But at the same time, I was exercising, I was lifting, I was running, and I never, in the last year that I've been experimenting with fruit-based diets, I never felt like I was burning out my muscles from not having enough protein. And I've been eating about 85, 90, even 95% fruit throughout this whole time. And if I go to the gym and I exercise, I put on muscle weight. It's just what happens.
Yeah, I mean, most vegans who have been, on a plant-based diet for any length of time know that there's no such thing as an actual protein deficiency. If you're getting symptoms that seem like protein deficiency, it's probably because you're calorically deficient. You're not eating enough calories. Like, think about a banana. Okay, we said it was only 1.2% protein per 100 grams. So really, like, there's 3 grams of protein in one banana, but you're not just going to eat one banana. You maybe eat 10 for a meal, and then that's 12 grams of protein, and it starts to add up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and this obviously has not been really proven scientifically. Unfortunately, we don't have enough studies or specimens of people that are following a very strict fruitarian diet, 100% fruit, going to the gym and lifting like professional bodybuilders are lifting. But when it comes to, I think it's just important for people to understand that there is protein in fruit. Mm-hmm. Just that there, even if it's a little bit, even if it's less than what they think is necessary, at least to understand that there is enough. And also, I think one thing we were talking about is
quality of protein.
The quality of the protein. And when you think about the protein that comes in a steak, it's sort of almost like, even an egg. Think of the protein in the egg. When you cook the egg, it all solidifies. So then the body has to break it down and turn it into amino acids, right? The amino acids are the building blocks of the protein. So it has to break it down so then the body can absorb it. Versus when we talk about the protein that comes in an orange or a tangerine or any type of fruit, it's already in the amino acid form. So it's way easier. There's not so much waste of energy to process it, and there's not that much protein that sort of just goes down the drain. So maybe the reason why omnivores, people that follow omnivores diets, maybe they need to eat more protein because a lot of it gets wasted, doesn't actually get absorbed.
It's less efficient to process it.
Yeah. So, if you're curious about it, I definitely recommend you get the app, the Chronometer app, and just, check it out for yourself. Because again, when you're looking at it like percentages, like 1%, 2% for avocados, it doesn't sound like that much. But if you're eating 2,000, 3,000 calories, I can assure you it's plenty. It's plenty. You're not going to have like any, that's been my experience. So of course I can't say what will happen to you, but my experience has been that if I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising, I'm not losing muscle, I'm actually building up, I'm gaining strength, I'm gaining muscle tone. That's all.